All right, folks, let's go ahead and get some news and information that you can use for your midday for January 28th. We're going to jump into a couple of things that you definitely need to know about so you can go about your workday just like me. So, today marks 1 year since Donald Trump's second inauguration. I don't know if any of you guys have actually been paying attention to that, and the headlines are intense and consequential. From constitutional debates in Washington to diplomatic friction with allies and a social media giant about to change hands. Here's the briefing that you need for your midday, January 20th, 2026. You ready? Let's get into it. So, 25th Amendment conversations are heating up in Washington, D.C. today. Talk of the 25th Amendment is dominating political discourse today. A growing number of Democratic lawmakers and commentators are calling for its invocation, citing recent White House actions, especially around foreign policy and diplomatic tensions. Here's a key point. These discussions are political pressure, not active legal proceedings. And the 25th Amendment requires action by the vice president and a majority of the cabinet. Now, that's a high bar that has yet to be met. And I don't definitely see that. As of this morning, no formal 25th Amendment process has been initiated. What we're seeing are calls and public debate. So expect more headlines and commentary, but not an immediate constitutional transition yet. Now, in just 48 hours, rather, TikTok is expected to be under new U.S. controlled ownership, a shift that clears a major national security hurdle and potentially reshapes the app's future. So, here's what it means for users like myself and others. Access may stabilize on U.S. app stores. However, end users are literally saying that they're seeing old posts that they've liked from months ago or last year. Their posts are literally being suppressed currently, especially if they're talking about specific subjects. New data security protocols are expected. Core user experience should remain familiar. However, this isn't a sale to political donors or quote supporters. Credible reporting shows major U.S. tech investors, including Oracle and Silver Lake, moving to comply with federal requirements. And basically, what that means is you're probably going to see more of a police like TikTok or police state, if you will. And I'm even seeing some changes as well. I don't see the people that I normally follow. My For You page is completely different than it has been in the past. And so we're definitely going to see what is happening. So for official announcements, what I would encourage you to do is to definitely keep your ear to the ground, especially if you are a TikTok user, if you are a content creator, if you use TikTok Shop or any of the other features that are a part of monetization, or you purchase directly and see some of your favorite creators there. Definitely be paying attention for those launch details. And what exactly does this mean in terms of having access to the rest of the world that is using the ByteDance version of TikTok? Because ByteDance will only be owning less than 20% of this particular version of TikTok. Will we lose access to the external world? As you can see, for many of us, we are already losing access to information about what's happening in specific areas like Israel and Gaza, Sudan, specific places around the world. You literally have to go searching for those. And how, or if you can, will you be able to access that information? So I'll keep you updated on what I find personally and share with you what I find. One of the biggest international stories today, though, folks, is let's talk about Greenland before I get up out of here before this evening. It's Greenland and the president's unusually forceful rhetoric that we literally saw come unhinged this morning at around 1 a.m. And I'll be sharing those screenshots with you guys a little bit later. Trump has publicly doubled down on acquiring Greenland, calling it central to U.S. security strategy and releasing striking maps that portray it as a U.S. territory. So European allies, especially Denmark, have firmly rejected any sale or transfer or of its sovereignty. And the international response, here you go. Denmark continues to emphasize Greenland's constitutional status as part of the Kingdom of Denmark and its critical role in NATO. Russia's foreign minister weighed in rhetorically, saying Greenland isn't a quote natural part of Denmark, but there's no verified Russian military involvement or claim to intervene. So here's what's not happening right now. There's no credible confirmation that Denmark or Greenland is preparing for a U.S. invasion. What they have said, what Greenland's prime minister has said, is he is letting the The inhabitants of Greenland, 57,000 to be exact, know that they should prepare for um, a possible U.S. invasion. So that alert came out about 3 hours ago, and any actual military move would trigger NATO's Article 5 obligations, meaning allied defense forces would be compelled to respond if this were to occur. So what we're seeing today is a diplomatic crisis amplified by social media scale rhetoric and not imminent combat operations, but the alert has been put out to their people. So Washington is a political pressure cooker right now. 25th Amendment talk reflects deep concerns among lawmakers, and we aren't on the brink of automatic transfer of power right now. I don't see that happening. I could be wrong. TikTok's future is moving into American hands. Users should expect the service to remain active and increasingly compliant with U.S. data security expectations. Again, I don't know exactly what that means. We're going to be finding out together. In the meantime, what you can do is go ahead and start following us on YouTube at Brownstone Worldwide. And Greenland remains a flashpoint. Rhetoric remains high, but credible reports do not confirm any invasion plans or troop movements. But the Prime Minister says be prepared. So he may have some intel that we don't even know about yet, but people just get ready. And then here's something else. Statement from TikTok's new US controlled board about data access, moderation, and user experience. We'll definitely be researching that for you guys. Congressional comment on the 25th Amendment. Where do people actually stand on that in Congress? And expect influential committee hearings and public statements in the future, but we'll definitely see. And foreign policy fronts. Reactions from NATO allies over Greenland. Look for formal diplomatic cables and press briefings, and we'll try our best to keep you abreast of what is currently happening with that. So, for that, I definitely want to thank you guys for joining me. But in the meantime, here's what you can do. Like I always say, for more news and information that you can always use, head over to brownstoneworldwide.com, Cityscape Radio, and you guessed it, Brownstone Living Magazine. We'll see you around.